Hey everyone, welcome to this week's update video. And this week we have one new unit and one event to talk about. So it's going to be a bit of a shorter video, not too much to talk about. But let's go over the new unit first, which is Alpha. Alpha is not a limited unit, right? And therefore she's going to be on the custom banner or just like the standard banner once the event is over. And so she's an assault type. And she targets the backline. Right, backline attack is pretty decent. There's not, there are some, but it's good to have some like a mix of units, right? That can do front and backline attacks. Then when she hits the backline, she'll hit backwards and sort of pierce down like backwards with multi-tile hits. Then she scales off attack and crit chance, pretty basic for DPS. Unfortunately, both this one and then her like special ability here, which triggers after she attacks, neither of them are damage ignoring abilities, and therefore you're at the mercy of whether the opponent has max armor or max resistance, etc. But then she also buffs herself, which is okay. Having extra buffs is it's fine. And then when she attacks, she consumes some of her own health. Unfortunately, by itself, it's not enough to trigger her EX, which is when she's below 50%. But therefore, you could combine this with other abilities that consume health, such as Kaihua or Tina or Mabel, who all have buffs that reduce the target's health. And that will allow you to trigger the EX, which is a dodge ignoring effect, which is fine. Like I think that's okay. But her normal attacks not being able to go through, max armor and stuff, I think is a pretty big detriment at the moment with the way PvP is at the moment. And therefore, I would say she's probably a skip. I'm personally going to skip her, but I'll leave it up to you. Like, if you like her design, you do you. But as far as like a competitive standpoint, I don't think she's particularly useful at the moment. But she's always going to be on the custom banner, and then you can always get her later quite easily, right? So you don't need to feel like you're missing out if you skip her at the moment. So I think I would say wait and see what's coming up before you pull the trigger. And that pretty much covers Alpha. Not too much to discuss. One other thing is I want to mention is she's not on the JP tier list at the moment. I think that's mostly because they haven't updated that tier list for quite a long time. And it's hard to see like what other people think about it at the moment. But based off what I can see from her skill set, I just don't think she's particularly good at the moment. Then we also have the double resource events, which surprisingly started quite early this time. It doesn't feel like it was that long since the previous one. I could be wrong, but I thought it's been less than a month since the previous one. But that's fine. I think this is quite useful for people who are going to be building their Transcendent Starries now. I'm sure not many people have been farming crit damage cores, if ever. Like, there's been no reason to until now, right? Unless you naturally got them from just pulling your perfect cores, the fragments, then you're unlikely to have any crit damage cores. So this is a good chance to farm those for your T affiliates. But I do only really recommend that if you're going to be trying to skill up your affiliate by more pulls or unless you have like extra books that you can convert for her, because she's not very good at low ranks, right? If you're going to leave her at rank 0, just leave her there as a collection unit. I don't think she's worth the resources to invest into until at least R6. Preferably, you want her to be at R10. It's a very big difference going up to R10, and therefore, if you're not willing to put in the resources to get her that high, then just leave her as a collection unit. She's probably going to be worse for you to be using her at rank 0 than not using her. And that pretty much covers it for this week. So it's a bit of a short video this week. I will probably do something in relation to PvP in the next couple of days. We'll probably be looking at it from like a tier list point of view, because I think the PvP meta has changed a fair bit recently, and there's been a lot more options that people have been exploring, and with the introduction of Teophilia, that's also something worth talking about too. So I'll go over that in probably probably a video in the next couple of days. I'll try to get that done as soon as possible. But yeah, that is it for this week. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.